I've always thought of myself as a sculptor. I found glass as an appropriate material for the sculpture I wanted to make. And then I became a good craftsman out of necessity in order to make the pieces work. Working with glass gives me a way to draw in space. I feel like adding the light at the end is like adding another drawing to the glass. It's a whole nother element.
Eric Franklin's skulls and skeletons are on display at galleries and museums in Los Angeles and New York. And the more than 80 hours it takes to create a glass skull, it all starts here.
I start each piece with a series of glass tubes. Once the glass is hot, it moves around a lot like honey. I have to constantly be spinning the pieces around. You could say I'm either fighting gravity or working with gravity to keep the glass where I want it.
To attach one tube to another, Eric first melts a hole in the center.
And then I blow out a bubble on one end of a tube, and I actually break that bubble, create a funnel shape on the end. And then I get both that hole and that funnel hot at the same time and press them together. I have to work the heat all the way around that seal. It's one thing to get the two tubes to connect together, but to get them to be really a seamless one piece of glass is important down the road when I'm actually trying to get them to light up. If I don't have a good seal, tiny little holes that you can't even see with your eye could allow the gas to escape. I've always focused on bones. The bones are sort of our architecture. I kind of edit the human body down to those kind of basic lines that create our bodies. This part will be the sort of the frame of the face. This piece is the bridge of the nose that will continue up onto the forehead. And these two pieces will outline the nasal cavity. One thing I've always been fascinated by about glass is how it is both strong and fragile at the same time, much like a human body. I discovered rock climbing when I was really young and just found it to be this amazing activity just because it engages your entire body. It demands a lot of focus. You have to either completely do it or not at all. There's really no middle ground. Yeah. Through rock climbing, I've kind of learned how our bodies function and how they work. I try and translate some of those ideas to my artwork. Right now I'm just slowly warming all the glass up at the same time. And I'm going to go in and add some details, but I kind of want to get this whole thing nice and warm before I do that. And I need to keep the temperature above a certain point so that it doesn't crack. It always gets stressful right at the end. The potential for something to crack is likely, and if it does crack, it always cracks somewhere that's really difficult to fix. Well, I've just added a little bit of glass to the tip of the nose here. I wanted it to stick out a little bit further from the face. So where I added that thick glass, that allows me to blow a little air in and bring that a little bit further forward. Yeah, I think this is good. I think it's time to fill it with gas.
Eric carefully places his new skull into the kiln. If the skull cools too fast, it'll crack. Next, he attaches a glass tube to one end of the skull. On the other end, a powerful vacuum.
We need a really clean environment inside in order for the gas to stay lit over time. If there's any impurities left in there, it'll eventually contaminate the gas and the light will go out. The vacuum system I currently use, I found at a NASA surplus. The actual apparatus was used to troubleshoot spacesuits. I have a gauge that tells me the level of vacuum, so once I get below a certain point, I know that it's clean enough to put the gas in. I commonly mix neon with a little bit of mercury vapor. It gets those amazing reds and blues.
Finally, it's the big moment.
I'm always surprised and fascinated by what I see when I first light them up. Sometimes it's predictable, and sometimes it's just completely something new. I'm interested in the way that communication happens within our body.
For Eric Franklin, the human body is the inspiration. Red-hot glass and glowing gases are the medium.
I've always thought of the skulls as a study of life. Anyone could look at my work and have some association with their body and just consider themselves and the people they know.
Organ Artbeat shares the stories of Oregon's amazing artists, and member support completes the picture. Join us as a sustaining member at opb.org/video.